there. Have you ever wondered if you posted something online, if immigration can see it? Because the answer is yes, potentially, and now more than ever before. My name is Kara Levy, and today I'm going to speak about the major development with immigration vetting that has taken place and has been recently approved, which allows the government to look into a non-citizen's social media presence through their social media handles and their online presence to determine whether or not they are in fact admissible. This topic is important because most people think that social media vetting only takes place at the consulate. So if you're outside the United States and you're applying for a visa to enter the United States, whether it's an immigrant or non-immigrant visa. But now that is no longer the full picture. And this social media vetting actually started back in at least 2019, where the State Department did update the non-immigrant and immigrant visa applications. One is called the DS-260, DS-160, which are submitted to the National Visa Center. And the State Department updated these to ask the applicants for their social media identifiers, going back 5 years. So social media vetting has been on the government's radar, but just for consulates, not so much for non-citizens who are in the United States. So now the social media vetting policy that has been taking place at the consulate has now expanded to include non-citizens submitting forms in the United States. In fact, in 2025, USCIS published notices of these proposed changes. And just about 1 month ago, on February 11th, 2026, these proposals were accepted and approved by the Office of Management and Budget of the White House. Okay, so which forms are going to be affected? Well, if you are applying for adjustment of status, Form I-485, that form will ask for your social media identifiers or handles. If you are applying for asylum Form I-589, you will also have to reveal your social media presence. Other forms include I-751, removal conditions. Also, there is the application for a travel document or travel permit. That is Form I-131, and of course, naturalization as well. So if you're applying on Form N-400, that will also ask for your social media handles or identifiers. So what does USCIS exactly want? What are they looking for? Well, they want to know what your social media presence has been like for the past 5 years. And they're not just looking at active accounts, they also want you to include any deleted accounts, any inactive accounts, which is really important to know. So just because you delete the account doesn't mean you're necessarily safe from scrutiny. Also, USCIS wants to know how many accounts you have, which platforms you've used, and they want to know your social media handles or identifiers so they can look at those accounts. They are not asking, however, for your passwords. So they are only interested in seeing any information that is of public view, which is consistent with your privacy settings. So the big question, why is USCIS expanding this policy? What exactly are they looking for? Well, their policy has said formally that they are looking to verify identity, they're looking for fraud detection, and they're doing it based on national security grounds and also just for government vetting. But in practice, what are these officers doing it for? They're going to be looking for whether you are a terrorist, whether you support terrorist organizations like Hamas, for example, And they're going to be also looking for whether you are connected to any anti-Semitic terrorism. And they're also going to be looking for fraud and other public safety concerns. So any of these things that they're looking for could fall under a ground of inadmissibility and prevent you from obtaining that immigration benefit that you are seeking. Okay, so if you are applying on one of those forms we just discussed, and the question pops up, what are your social media identifiers or handles in the last 5 years? How do you want to respond? Well, number one, you do not want to omit any information or lie, okay? That can get you into bigger problems. USCIS could delay your application, they could choose to investigate further, or they could actually find that you fall under a fraudulent or misrepresentation ground of inadmissibility. Number two, I advise you to review all your public-facing online presence content and just look at it and examine everything, you know, what your relationship status is, what your username is, what your bio says, what your employment descriptions are. Look at everything and determine what is this saying about you. And I'm not telling you to delete anything, but just kind of have a good idea of what your public content says about you. Number three, you want to be consistent. So you want to make sure that the public image that you're giving off in your social media is consistent with the story you're telling in your application. Because if there's any inconsistencies, that will go towards your credibility. I hope all of you are walking away today understanding that social media vetting is no longer just at the consulate. It is now here in the United States, and it is happening now to all applicants for most immigration-related applications, at least the major ones. And if you liked this video, please like it. Please subscribe for more information on immigration law and policy. And I look forward to speaking to you later. Bye.